The 0-2 pitch. Hey, struck him out swinging at 101. The swing and a drive, left field and deep. Back it goes and gone. And the Twins walk it off again.
Oh, it is so great to have our intro back with our guy Cory Provus back for year 3, joining us on Hot Mic each and every Friday throughout the baseball season. He will give us his unparalleled insight. But first, he is a great Big Ten basketball mind, so I'm sure you had to be grinning last night seeing 3 Big Ten teams make the Sweet 16 or the Elite 8 now.
Not surprised. Yeah, not surprised. I mean, the league was really good, and I thought it was very. I wouldn't say there was great parity this year. There were some upsets, don't get me wrong, but the top half of the conference, those were all elite teams that all had the makings of making a deep run here in March. And I'm not surprised at all that Illinois won last night, especially tough winning, not just Houston, but winning in Houston.
Yeah.
I mean, the Cougars are basically playing, 15 minutes from their campus. That's an amazing win and sets up a great old school rivalry with the Final Four on the line between Iowa and Illinois. That should be great. But Illinois was a team that I saw a few times this season, and they have the makings of a Final Four team. Watch them for one half of basketball. It's like, well, what's their weakness?
Right.
They don't turn the ball over. They don't foul. They've got incredible size. They've got guard play. Keaton Wagler, the freshman sensation. You remember that Keaton Wagler, his final 2 choices where he was going to play college basketball, Illinois, Minnesota. Those were the final 2 choices. And the Gophers, I understand, thought that they had him, that they felt really good about him. And then Illinois probably came in up their NIL, and that was game, set, match. But Keaton Wagler wasn't this stud, can't miss guy. It's a credit to him and what Illinois has done as a staff to make him into this. What Robbie was saying last night on the telecast, a lottery pick.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then Michigan State. There's some great programs that are still going, and the Big Ten is showing up quite well in March Madness.
How much do you enjoy doing that, then get yourself fine-tuned for baseball? That you get your Big Ten schedule, and then, all right, it's time to turn the page and get ready for baseball.
Just keeps me sharp.
Yeah.
There are times I miss doing football, but not too much. But doing basketball, it keeps me sharp. It just keeps me, active. It keeps my brain working on a certain path and a certain direction and a certain skill that I think is important. So I like it. And also I like learning about the game from the people that I've worked with now for a long time, but there's something new. And just, the rules change and evolve, the game evolves, and how coaches look at things now it's interesting because baseball gets criticized for being this analytically driven sport, too much numbers. Talk to a college basketball coach. Talk to Fred Hoiberg. He is as analytically driven as anybody, but nobody poo-poos that. It's always baseball. Baseball is always the target, changing the game. I don't like that they're doing this. There's too many numbers. Guess what? Every sport is doing it. Football too, NFL. Look, if you go to a game at US Bank Stadium, they got those next-gen stats on the big video board at US Bank Stadium all the time, and they're talking about efficiency all the time.
Yeah.
But baseball still gets stepped on when they're talking about analytics. So college basketball, very, very analytically driven.
All right, let's get the viral moment out of the way. We played it earlier this week. I thought you handled it awesome. I thought you're a total pro on that. Were you surprised how much this thing took off?
So my wife, she watches and listens all the time. She called me the other day. She's like, so how does it feel to be this global sensation? I'm like, what are you talking about? She said about the thing, about the bit you and Perk had. And I said, yeah, I see it. I'm like, but that's coming in your realm too? She's like, oh my gosh, is it in my realm? I've had people I haven't spoken to in 20 years that know what you do, but they are like reaching out how funny that was. And my cousin that's a surgeon in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, he's from Chicago, and he listens to Chicago sports radio, and he was telling me that, they're playing it. And a couple people that I like on social media, they've taken their own spin on it. There's so many things that I wanted to say that I had on the tip of my tongue.
I'm sure.
But I think it came out. It came out well. And,
Perfect.
And Perk's the best teammate because, he has fun with it. He laughs at himself. it's become a fun little bit, and I'm glad people have enjoyed it.
You did a little social media promotion as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, the boss was like, "Hey, we're going to film a Twins TV commercial with it,
Yes.
and we're not going to be like, no. Again, we're going to laugh at it and make it our own, and still kind of connect it." And yeah, so we had a moment there on the air, and there's a lot of things I wanted to say, like, Perk, I wear many hats, but a urine collector is not one of them. That's not where I want to go. What are you talking about? This just got weird.
Yes.
There's a lot of things I wanted to go
I bet.
but it just I didn't know he was talking about his baseball team. It did not resonate with me right away. Have I ever seen Buxton with his pants down? I'm like, what are you talking about? I had no idea what he was talking about. And then the next day we come back on and we have all right, full uniform, baseball pants. He's got his baseball pants down to his ankles, so now we can clarify we're talking about baseball. So we had fun with it.
Just out of context, it's one of the funniest things I've ever heard. Just part on, it's just fantastic. Yeah. Let's talk yesterday. Joe Ryan was Joe Ryan yesterday. Is this and it's hard, it's 1 of 162 to extrapolate that, but the inability, and I know Derek Shelton talked about it after the game, to get the runner in from second or third obviously cost him, and that's something. Is that a bigger picture thing that we got to focus on in this first maybe month of the year?
I think you focus on it for one game.
Okay.
I think you can't say, boy, this is going to be an issue all year. It was last year, but we had a full season to look at it. I would hope that if they're in that same situation tomorrow, that they perform better. And it was just, they just didn't do well yesterday. Now, I'll also say the guy they faced a year ago, he had a 129 batting average against with runners in scoring position. He's really good. He's a free agent, Trevor Rogers, end of the year. He's going to be highly sought after. He's going to be heavily compensated, as he should. He's really good at what he does. That's why aces go opening day. That's why number ones go opening day. So what's the difference between a number one and everybody else? They can pitch themselves in and out of trouble.
Right.
And I'd also give credit to what Trevor Rogers did yesterday, because he's not beating guys with 97, 98. He was low to mid-90s, throughout the game. But, man, he's efficient, and even though his walk rate was kind of higher yesterday, the Twins had chances, and it wasn't like a massive big strikeout day until the end. But Ryan Helsley, again, he was given a lot of money. Free agent,
right?
100, 101, and that was the difference in the game. And yes, you can point to Austin Martin. He'd love to have that play back and left, and the poor decision to go to third instead of second base, and that was costly because that turned out to be the winning run. But I'm not going to say that, boy, this is going to be a lingering problem until it is, and it's going to take some time to fully diagnose that.
I know a lot was made, Corey, of what Shelton said earlier this week about how they're going to mix and match in the bullpen. Is that more prevalent in Major League Baseball, or is there hey, this is our 7th inning guy, this is the 8th inning guy, this is the 9th inning guy?
I think, Perk has talked about this, even mentioned this on the air yesterday, that I think the guys know more than what's been publicly said.
Uh-huh.
So we are getting the message that it's going to be mix and match. It's going to be, taking advantage of opportunity. But Perk is of the belief, and he would know more than anybody else, the guys have a pretty good idea when and where they're throwing and how much they're going to. Like, I don't see Cody Lorison or Zach Kent getting a chance to save a game tomorrow. I think they have been informed when they're going to throw. Same with Taylor Rogers, and we saw him pitch in a tight game, late yesterday. So I think the guys that we saw in a tight ball game, I think add Anthony Bonda in there as well, and that's going to be your quartet that probably is going to be in the mix. Up a run, down a run, tie game, late. That to me is the quartet that I think is going to be given those opportunities early on. But the Twins bullpen, I think, is fair to discuss and debate because it's probably going to have the weakest velocity of any bullpen I can think of in the game. That it's not going to be 98, 99, and we enjoyed watching that power the last few years, right? And that's not what they're going to have. And it's how they're going to do it, how they're going to be successful in this day and age without having that power that the norm has. that to me, getting back to the previous question about, the offense and runners scoring position, that's going to work out over time. But can this group be successful in today's game in a way that is not the norm? That to me is near the top of questions I have about how this team is going to perform early on.
Offensively, what's your biggest question mark heading into this year? What do you look and say, okay, we need an answer on blank?
This is a massive year, and Trevor Plouffe has talked about this, and Justin and Glenn talked about it yesterday. This is a big year for several guys. Like, are you part of the future, or is somebody going to take your job in a matter of months or a year from now? This is a massive year for Royce Lewis. This is a big opportunity for Brooks Lee. This is a big year for Matt Ball, Trevor Larnach, and other guys as well. But there are many homegrown guys that, okay, here you go. Here's your chance. Make the most of it. You're going to get regular playing time. You're going to be out there. What are you going to do with it? Because the Twins farm system has guys that are ready to take their job that are not at A-ball. I mean, St. Paul is going to have some really good players.
Yeah.
And St. Paul is going to have, we'll see about the pitching, but from a lineup standpoint, I mean, the St. Paul outfield is going to be among the better outfields, certainly in AAA in baseball this season. And that includes right now Alan Rodin. But if Rodin is with the big league club here, then you're going to have Gabriel Gonzalez in left, Walker Jenkins in center, Emmanuel Rodriguez in right. That's a really good outfield that many are on the doorstep of the big leagues. And I would say that Rodriguez, he looked great in camp. And for a guy that's had so many problems with injuries, the Twins said, you know what, go play winter ball. Go play. And he did, and that did him well. He just never stopped. And then came into camp. I didn't think he was going to make the team, but he looked really good.
Yeah.
He hit the ball hard, some power. He can defend. He can run. There's some guys there. And this abundance of left-handed hitting outfielders that the Twins currently have down, I thought it was going to be sorted out in the offseason, and it wasn't. It hasn't. They have a lot of the same pieces. So that idea that the roster doesn't make a whole lot of sense, I think is fair to discuss and debate. But why they went in that direction, that I can't tell you. That's for others to discuss and take you through it. But there's more of that underneath. Like, there's more left-handed hitting outfielders that are coming. So Kalen Culpepper is going to play short, and I don't know if he's a long-term big league shortstop, but if they're starving for offense, Dom, they're not going to wait too long to kind of make a call here.
Let's break. We'll have more on that. We had a couple emails that wanted to ask you about that. Also, we'll chat on the first ABS challenge that went down yesterday. We'll do that on the other side of the break as we wrap up Hour 1 with Cory Provus. We're back right after this. Welcome back, everybody. We're seeing video from Ryan Jeffers, who challenged a call yesterday, the first ABS challenge for the Twins, and won it, which, again, we're going to get used to this throughout the year as we're back with Cory Provus. So for those that were watching the telecast yesterday, how immediate do you have the replay, like, right there as well in your monitor?
We're going off we maybe have it just how technology works, maybe a second or two off from what they're showing on the scoreboard in the stadium. But it's what's frustrating about the strike zone right now, and Justin talked about this yesterday. We are not seeing. You are at home. You are still seeing the box. You are seeing the strike zone box. We do not see that anymore live, and the reason being is that many of the seats behind home plate at these ballparks, they have monitors, and fans are watching. They have the option, and Major League Baseball is worried about cheating. And if fans could be like, "Hey, it's a strike, challenge," if that would have any impact, because gambling is a part of it too. If that would have any impact, and so for the time being, we are not privy to that box, and I hope that changes. And I hope maybe then if you're watching on a stadium monitor, that's a delay or whatever, because that's tricky for us, okay? Yeah. How could he not challenge that? How could he not? We just don't have that box right now to really help us, kind of guide us on that path. So that's something that I think will be ironed out here in the coming days. But it's frustrating. But I do like it.
I do too.
I think it ran well in spring training. I think 2 challenges is perfect.
Yes.
And now we're going to learn about strategy, about when they do it, how often they do it. The Twins, they were aggressive. They challenged, I think, the second or third most of any team in spring training. Their challenge overturn rate was low. It was 40%, but they were aggressive with challenges. But we're going to learn over time, Dom, about the strategy here, counts, who does it. Shelty's adamant he doesn't want the pitchers challenging; they're too emotional. It's going to be the catchers for the most part, hitters here and there, but he does not want his pitchers, challenging.
Email came in. This goes back to the last subject we were talking about before we went to break on. Dom, could you ask Cory, what's Twins prospect do we see first, Walker Jenkins or Kalen Culpepper? I mean, Jenkins is hurt, so it probably leans to Culpepper here, right?
I hate to put this in it all depends on who he's replacing.
Struggling,
like
right?
If the Twins, if they're short some outfielders, then I think it's Emmanuel Rodriguez. Kalen Culpepper is not on the 40-man roster, I believe, so that does factor in here a little bit where Emma is. I would think that he would be first, but I think again that would. Maybe Alan Roden. I mean, if you're counting him too, because of the camp that he had, and he is on the roster. I think he could be in the mix, but that would all depend on who's the first man out.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're talking about an injury, if we're talking about, I think it's too. If we're talking performance, Matt Wallner a couple of years ago, I think it was in 24, he began the season on the team and was terrible. I mean, he had. I think he started the season, Dom, like 3 for his first 50 or 45.
Wasn't good.
30 strikeouts. I mean, you need a sample to be like, okay, you've got to go down and fix it. And so this is not going to happen over a week. So it all depends on injury. I would think that's going to probably decide the initial roster move more than anything performance related this early on in the year.
I want to get a couple big picture questions with you. Everyone's looking at the Dodgers because they've won it 2 years in a row. Is it theirs to lose again, or do you have another team that Seattle was awfully good, Toronto was great last year. Is there somebody that can rise up and knock these guys off in 2026?
I need to see it to believe it.
Yeah.
I think the Dodgers, they signed the 2 most impactful free agents, Kyle Tucker and Edwin Diaz. I think that they are the team to beat. And I don't know how you can say otherwise right now. I mean, they fell behind 2-0 and then won 8-2 or whatever the final was yesterday at Dodger Stadium. So they just there's no weak link. And you could say, bullpen last year, some starters went down. Yeah, the regular season for them is a warm up. They're going to get in.
That's
and
exactly
then
right.
For them last year, home field didn't matter. They're too good. They have just too much experience. So they are the overwhelming favorite for a reason. So I need to see the champ get knocked out. Not knocked down, but knocked out before I pick somebody else.
Another email came in. Cory, would you be in favor of moving the World Baseball Classic to the All-Star break? We heard a lot of that when it was going on. What would you make with how big a deal would that be if they could move it to the middle part of the season?
No, I think it's fine where it is.
Okay.
And the other countries look at it differently. Like this is our event, and all those guys get in, and I love it. I think it's fine. Now, I did see a report before spring training that they do tally the injuries that pile up for pitchers the following year, not the current year. So we're talking about 2026, but those that did pitch in the WBC, injuries are more prevalent. So this would be for the 2027 season. So there is some data that's been building about that. I like it. I really like the event. And I think what generated more Team USA involvement was what happened 3 years ago when you had Team USA against Team Japan in the final, and that last moment with Ohtani on the mound and Mike Trout, teammates then with the Angels, to decide it.
Yep.
I think that moment was fantastic for the event, and you're like, I want in, and everybody wants in. And I get why Tarek Skubal only threw the one time. He's got record-setting contract that's coming up around the corner. I totally understand it. Now, I have no problem with the event where it's at, and I understand there's going to be some pitching restrictions for the guys with the season starting. I get all that. Find a way to do it, to compete, to participate, however you can, but I'm fine with the timing of the event.
This was awesome, man. I can't wait to do this for the next 6 months. Have a great call tomorrow. We'll see you back in Minneapolis next week, okay?
You got it, Dom. Good to catch up, my man.
There he is, Cory Provus. He'll join us each and every Friday throughout the baseball season at 9:30. The Twins, I mentioned again, are off today. Back in action on Saturday, late afternoon start again, 3 o'clock with Baltimore, and then it's on to Kansas City with the home opener a week from yesterday with Tampa Bay coming to town. I just looked at the weather forecast as well, which looks chilly, best way to say it. At least it's going to be chilly here. I can't imagine Minneapolis will be that much warmer, but they're giving away the winter hats for the first 10,000 that are going to Target Field it's a week from today for the opener with Tampa. Let's break. We come back. We'll start our second hour. Brad Schlossman will join us from Sioux Falls after UND's NCAA tournament win last night against Merrimack. That's coming up when we return. We'll come back right after this.